All right, guys, welcome back. We have a balancing patch note day, which is the best kind of a day. Um, Anytime the game gets changed is great. We just are looking for different things to think about, different things to do, different ways to play. And this came out, right before the end of the RTA season, so we'll have time to digest it and hopefully get playing with it pretty soon. So let's take a look at what's changed, and we'll talk about the possible consequences in different areas of the game. First off, all Beast Riders nerfed. I think we all saw this coming. The nerf is a good one, and it punishes people who don't play smart with them, which is also good. So, beneficial and harmful effects remain when the Beast Rider dismounts. That's awesome, because the problem with the way the dismount cleanse worked was that it defeated a lot of things that should be able to beat them. Like, it would defeat Cleave, because they would get killed, come down, be faster, or be slightly less fast, but be more damaging, and just nuke back into Cleave. So Cleave couldn't clean them up. It would nerf control, because you control them, and then what do? Do you dismount them, and then they're active again? No, now, when you control them and nuke them, they'll stay controlled, which is great. It's still kind of a counter to Cleave, because a lot of Cleave doesn't control and kill. But this is just sense. This makes sense. If you're only way, because people were building them so tanky too. Now they were tanky because you finally got that defense break from your one defense breaker. It dismounted and you still can't kill it because you don't have a defense break anymore. This way, if you invest into killing it, you can continue killing it when it dismounts, which I think is fantastic. And I think Beast Rider owners, might be sort of mad because they invested a lot into pulling one. I pulled the blue one and didn't really have time to play with it before the nerf, so I won't really feel the difference, hopefully. It's kind of like I pulled Ganny a day or two before they nerfed his self-ventilate. I had like 2 days of, oh, this is broken, to then, okay, this is better. Okay, so it's a good nerf, and the reason why I think is they could have nerfed it more, and they could have made them like a useless pull almost, or they could have pushed it back into the pack of, it's just another monster that does stuff. But they still have all their debuffs. Their ridiculous base speeds, their ridiculous bar gain. So they're still going to be really quite good. It doesn't punish you for being behind in the match. They help you get ahead, but if you screw up in draft and you fall behind, they're not going to be an I win button. Like, oh, I'm way behind, I dismounted, and look, I one-shotted the opposite element, and now I'm back ahead again. It's not going to help you in that case, which I think is good. So that's a nerf. All right, Water got another nerf on the damage. I have not seen a ton built specifically for damage. I mean, I know they do a lot of damage. Mine is a little bit tanky, so I don't know. But a 10% off the defense ignore is not bad. Really what it is it goes from, 100% ignore defense from 3 buffs to 100% ignore defense from 4 buffs. I didn't see a lot of situations with 3 buffs, and I think part of the problem with the Beast Riders is you would bring them into so many situations where they didn't belong that the number of buffs didn't matter. Whereas now, maybe you'll bring them more into, 3 and 4 buff situations. If they've got the Vigor and, say, a Shiho, that's 4 buffs, that's a one-shot. So, a pretty good nerf to the water one, I think. Just tuning it down a little bit, making it make more sense, which is what we want. All right, the wind one. This one's still fine, I think. This nerf, when Beast Rider owners should be like, yeah, no big deal, because 100% AOE bar reduce off of a speed increase, like with defense break, is pretty good. It's pretty darn good. Whereas now it's a 75% bar reduce. So before, if she landed it, it would be 4 total turns robbed plus whatever turns you gain from speed buff. So you were gaining over 4 turns from this skill because of the speed buff. Now, with 75%, you're getting 3 total turns robbed, plus whatever you get from the speed buff. That's still good. And really, the bar decrease could be 50%, and it would still be fine. Like Hyannis, Dark Dryad, right? It's a 50% bar decrease. I don't even think it's a 100% chance. Maybe I'm wrong there. But the point of the bar decrease is to speed tune, right? And 75% speed tunes whatever goes after her real nice, just like 50 would. 25 be a little dicier. That's what like Triton has, 25. So this is still really, really good. It might get another nerf. We'll just have to see how it plays out. Okay, so those are the Beast Riders. Ninja Dark. This is actually great for my alt because my alt has this. They turn him into something approaching a LD Nat 5. Maybe not quite all the way there, but he's now not a Nat 4, which is great. He can fully turn cycle with his third skill because it attacks 4 times with a 25% bar increase. So, 4 times 25 is 100. He only gets cut if something is a speed buff or something gets a tick and cuts in front of him while he's doing this. And now he weakens defense, which is so great because it sets him up into solo mode, right? He increases his bar, bing, 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 and the defense is broken. Now he gets to go again. He can do his stun with a defense broken unit or his speed scaling first skill on a defense broken unit. So it makes him a scarier one-shot issue. So I might play with him on my alt. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, good job. They actually fixed him up a little bit. Okay, Dark Sky Dancer. Let's take a look here. Scroll it down. Change to cover the attack HP of all allies by 20% of your max HP and increases their attack power for 2 turns. So before it was increase the attack power for 3 turns. Interesting. In addition, increases the attack bar of all allies with full HP by 15%. So, couple changes. It's now a max HP heal instead of an attack power heal. It gives attack buff, and it gives a 15% bar. 15% bar is very rare as far as I can remember. I think the demons are 20%, Bastet's 25%, and then it goes up from there. It's interesting. It's a baby speed tune. Baby speed tune. I mean, just baby speed tune. I don't know. It's an attack buff with a little bit of a speed tune. It's kind of like a Bastet, but less. The fact that it only gives the bar to things with full HP is interesting. That to me is this is a turn 1 only effect. I don't know. I'm not sure where that fits in. Probably in arena offense as your secondary speed tuner / attack bar booster, right? Helps you tune it up with something else like a Triton or a Tiana or something. I don't know. I think it's situational, right? Because 3-turn attack buff is good. Scaling on max HP is interesting. I don't know. I don't think it really makes much of a difference in RTA. I think it's an arena change. Okay. Light Monkey King. Giant net. More control, right? Decreases the attack bar. Good for Light Monkey King owners. More control. Monkey King Water. This one's really interesting. Attacks 4 times becomes attacks 6 times. Damage increased by 2% over the 6 attacks. So everything else gets slightly tuned. What does this do? It kills Lycas, right? We know that. It gives you a chance to kill Miho if you're not 100%. I don't know. This is the one that's the strip, right? So it gives you more strip chances. It's interesting. 6 times is a lot. You don't see that too often. I'm trying to think what else it could do. That's kind of how I take it. It makes it more of a guaranteed single target strip and gets you better against anti-crit units. It helps you against Triana quite a bit. Got my Mandalorian mug here. So yeah, helps you in any situation where multi-hits are helpful. Helps you more. 50% more. So pretty good. Pretty good little buff. Okay, I did not expect to see Elemental Monkey Kings catch a buff. I think they're all not too bad. But hey, here's more buffs for Elemental Monkey Kings. Fire, Wind, decrease cooldown on their second skill, which is their good skill. 3 turns, that seems fine. How many Monkey Kings live 4 turns? I mean, it probably, yeah, I think with skill ups it goes down even more. So that's going to be really helpful for Fire and Wind. Fire, they keep wanting Fire to be a counter to control. It kind of is, kind of not. But it's getting there. Dark, same thing. Demon Fire, 1 skill increased by 8%. Oh, there were times where I was like, oh, if I could only do 8% more damage, this would be my best unit. There were no times like that. That was not a thing. I don't know. They want his kit to be good, and I guess they think it's a damage issue. I don't know if it is. I don't know if that's the issue. Anyway, 8%. They buffed Poseidon again. That's amazing. They always buff Poseidon. It's like, there's one guy at the table at Come to Us. It's like, has anyone played with Poseidon lately? And everyone's like, no. And he's like, it's never good. And so they just keep buffing him. So it can't glance now. The bar reduce thing can't glance. Interesting. So it can bar reduce wind. Okay, cool. That doesn't seem too crazy. Beast Monk Wind, they buffed. Wow, they buffed Ritesh. So his defense break chance goes up. I think that probably makes it 100%. I would have to check the skill ups, but I would think that's now 100%. That seems fine. They buffed Meditate. It now has a cleanse. Removes all harmful effects granted on yourself. So that's good. So heal block is not the solution anymore, which is good, I think. A little bit of a nerf to Bastet following up for the kill. Nice little buff for the Beast Monks. Will be very good in Siege and Guild Wars. Probably still useless in RTA because of their HP scaling. All right, this Tessarian buff is nice. They really have a nice philosophical change in Oblivion this patch, and we'll get into it as we see each monster. But they are helping. They're trying to help us in that all the broken units need to be Oblivioned. So they're trying to give us more Oblivion. So this buff to Tessarian basically should read, if the enemy doesn't have Oblivion, take 30% less damage, because it's no harmful effects, 30% less damage. So you can build him a little bit more damage, and he won't get just nuked down into Oblivion. You can build him tankier and make him last a little bit longer while you wait out their Wusa immunity, say. It's a bit of a nerf against Tessarian for Mina, but you know, how often does that come up? It's a good buff. He might see more play now, because we need to Oblivion all the mess that's going on. There's so much mess going on, and it needs to be Oblivioned. All right, Joker becomes a bomber, blue Joker. I don't know. It's just a bomb, right? It's like a Kobold bomber bomb with a 50% additional accuracy. The only way this would matter is base stats, and I haven't checked them recently, but Malaka does the same exact thing and has a better skill 3. Right? I mean, he just doesn't die. He has some ways he can play a little bit longer and not die and stuff, but I don't know. It makes him an option, whereas before he was not an option. He's a bomber that can bomb. Wow. 6 years. A bomber that can bomb. Well done. Well done. All right, we got mermaid buffs across the board. Let's take a look. So the wind, increased chance to decrease defense and skill cooldown. That seems good. That's the one with the good base speed, I think, right? Or am I thinking it's going to have good base speed if we get to the end? So if you were thinking about using Mermaid Wind to decrease defense and skill cooldown, and you were like, it's not reliable enough, well, here you go. You're good to go. Okay, let's look at the air shield. Shield amount is proportional to the level of the monster that uses the skill. Max HP of the monster that uses this skill. So, I think this is an RTA nerf, because it's turning to max HP. Max HP goes down in RTA. Level-based skills like Bastet's shield are better in the long run in RTA. Wusa's shield decreases because it's an HP-based shield. So this is a little bit of a nerf to RTA, if I'm reading it correctly. Here's the Fire and Dark Grant Life. Increases the attack bar by the revived ally by 30%. That's nice. That's a nice little buff. So yeah. The Fire Mermaid, Dark Mermaid, getting the revived target a little bit of a chance to hang in there and do stuff. Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice little buff. And then we've got the Light Mermaid, HP recovery amount 10% to 25%. That seems significant to me. As a passive, that's gonna see some play in some areas, because 25% single target healing is, as a passive, is pretty good. So pretty nice. All right, sniper time. Accurate fire, damage increased by 10%, so that's the first skill. Okay, it is a sniper. It should hit hard. The one issue with the Beast Riders I was seeing is that their first skill was hitting more than some nukers' like third skill, right? Because it's speed scaling and people built them silly fast, and it was like, well, why do I have this nuker that is not as tanky, has a decent third skill, and can't hit as much as a first skill of another monster? So they're maybe seeing that and trying to fix it in the sniper. All right, Fire, Wind, and Dark. Those are called snipers we don't use. But if you're one of those people that sees them and you're like, yes, must build Wind Sniper, there you go, decrease cooldown. Fire, don't use it. Different changes. Wind, I don't think we use it. Okay, Dark, no. Fire Magic Knight. Okay. So, Fire Magic Knight deals 50% more damage from 50 to 100 if the enemy has more HP. That's good. Increases the value of attack speed, that increases as your HP gets lower. Okay, we'll see how it goes. Could be good. Just need to see how good it is. All right. Magic Knight Wind. I don't see it, but maybe it will. Decreases attack bar by 30% with each attack. Decreases the attack bar by 30% with first and second attack. Absorbs the attack bar of all enemies by 30% with the last attack. Okay, that seems good. Turns it into an AoE thing, which is always nice. Okay, Water Dryad. This to me is attempt number 2 to fix Oblivion. Because Tree of Loss is the 3-turn Oblivion, which is already good, a 3-turn Oblivion, and now it has a 3-turn defense break. Anything that's 3-turn is pretty good. 3-turn Oblivion with 3-turn defense break is, we're going to go kill this annoying unit that I just Oblivioned, right? That's the plan. I don't know if it'll be enough, because I think her issue is she's like an actual 4-star, not one of these like super 4-stars that has all the stats and does all the things. She's statted like a real 4-star, not like a 2A or whatever. So stats are kind of her issue. But I think it gives us another nice water option with the defense break, the 3-turn defense break. I mean, we've seen what Vigor does with his 3-turn defense break. It lasts too long. You got to cleanse it or die, right? 2-turn defense break, a lot of monsters can cycle through and be fine. Sierra, like, 2-turn defense break on Sierra, she's like, what? No, I'll just do it's gone. Look at that. But 3 turns pretty good. I like that change a lot. I like that a lot. Okay, gargoyles. I guess we can look at the Dryad Wind. If you attack an enemy, it already has continuous damage, attacks additional continuous damage. For 1 turn, it becomes 2 turns. That's good. TOA, I guess. But yeah, more dots. Okay, gargoyles. Effect added, stuns the enemy for 1 turn with 30% chance. Okay, so they give it a little stun. That's nice. Provokes for 1 turn, destructive claws. Okay. Passive condition eased. Okay, so water gargoyle was, if you had less than 30% HP, now it's less than 50%, you turn to a statue. That seems smart. I don't know who's focusing gargoyles though. Like, you usually focus things that can mess up your team, and until maybe now, gargoyles cannot mess up your team, so you just leave them if they're ever there. Are they ever there? They're never there. If they were there, you would leave them, right? Okay. Wind Gargoyle increases the reflect damage by 25%. Decreases your skill cooldown time when you get attacked, even critical hits don't occur. So makes your skills cool down a little bit nicer, regardless. Okay. Light Gargoyle. When increasing skill cooldown time of the target that attacks you, the cooldown time can exceed the max cooldown time. So it's negative cooldown. So if you have a 4-turn cooldown, it can make it a 5 or a 6 or a 7. That's interesting. I think that's cool. I don't know if it'll matter in the gameplay, but that's cool. I like that. That's pretty neat. That's a neat little buff. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Magical archers. Oh my gosh, they're doing magical archers. Okay. Damage percent by 10%. So magical archers were 2% worse off than fire demon is what I'm learning. Now magical archers are fixed. We'll see them everywhere, right? 10% more damage. Done. Wind magical archer increases the damage of critical damage. Increased the amount of critical damage that increases according to how much HP you've lost. Okay. And then they're all about this light magical archer. So much. After attacking, recovers a turn instantly if the enemy's not stunned. So stun or get another turn. Okay. Dark increases the chance of ignoring defense by 15% for each harmful effect. Maybe this will matter. These are monsters that are so far off like the public consciousness that they would have to really... You'd have to really see something for them to jump to the head of the line. My only thought with these 3-star buffs is look at the 2A possibility. If they 2A on top of little buffs like this, you could get something. You could get something cooking. So maybe that's on the pipeline. I don't know. All right, I think these are really fun coming up. The Awakening changes. So, Panda Warrior Fire. This is really neat. It goes from a resistance lead to a skill increase of his cleanse, heal, revenge, right? To an AoE cleanse, which is awesome, I think. It is great for R5, like not fast R5, like slow R5, because you need that cleanser. And it gives you the Revenger, which gives you the defense break, and cleanses them up, gives them a little heal. So that's really nice. And part of me wants this to be viable in RTA, the AoE heal with the... it's really hard to see it being useful. You know what, though? Like, if you could build them on Violent, right? and you're facing Ganny Hathor, it gives you one more thing that could violent proc and save your bacon, right? So, I don't know. I would like it to be somehow useful, but, I mean, people were building, what's her face? Annabelle for this very reason, right? Just to violent proc out of Ganny Hathor. So maybe Fire Warrior becomes the new hotness. The little heal's nice. It's not immunity, but it's a little heal, so that's nice. Because my options are Veligil and Water Pony, and this is a healing option with a defense break. I'm trying to talk myself into it. I don't know that it'll actually be a thing, but it's a great buff. It's a really, really great buff, because it's still thematic with what he does anyway, you know? Okay, Dark Anubis for you the Bay users out there. Strengthen Pierce Soul skill to strengthen Soul Devourer skill. Recovers your HP by 50% of the damage dealt. Recovers the HP of all allies, including yourself, by 30% of the damage dealt. So he's Amon now. He's like a good Amon. Amon cries. He's like, remember when I got nerfed? Remember when Amon got nerfed? That's where the game's at. They were like, Amon, too powerful. No. We can't have him recovering HP off revenge. He's too powerful. Nerf Amon. The game has moved past that, has it not? Okay, Wind Anubis. Yay, another great one. Yeah, okay, we're not skipping anything. Grants Oblivion with 2 turns. For 2 turns with a 50% chance. Oblivion. Yes, a third Oblivion unit that is available to us. And now we have one of each element, right? Fire, wind now with the Anubis, and water with the Dryad. That's so smart. I'm just glad it exists. 50% more Oblivion units in the game. I don't count Isis. Who would count Isis? No one. So 50% more Oblivion units in the game. That's great. And this guy's a little bit of a hang around, don't die kind of a monster. He comes back. So that's fantastic. I'm happy to see that. And I was kind of looking for some direction on which Anubis to build because I've got skill ups. And I've got, I think, blue and red built. So maybe Wind's next. Oblivion, right? Let's do it. All right. Here's what I talked about earlier with the Wind Mermaid. Attack speed up 15%. That is the dream for any monster. It makes them easier to build with your back of the cart runes, you know? I mean, if you're looking to make a 250 Wind Mermaid, it just got so much easier. So that's a really nice little change for Wind Mermaid. I don't know if it'll make her viable, but it's a nice change. And you Dark Chimera owners finally got your wish. It just goes to show, Geldner owners, if you whine enough, amazing things can happen. Because now it is a sensical crit rate leaders, or a crit rate awakening instead of resist. Resist makes no sense. No sense for what he wants to do. So yeah, the Dark Chimera got easier to rune. Congratulations, lottery winners. Okay, this is another great one. Wind Ifrit speed lead, 24% speed lead. It's a free to play speed lead, which those are pretty rare, and they often come with issues, right? Like Gemini's goodish, but he does one thing, and it's a 19, right? Shimate, pretty good for certain situations, but she's a little bit of a glass cannon, right? And it's a 24 for arena only. This is a universal 24% speed lead, which is it's needed, right? It's free to play, 24% universal speed lead. Any extra speed lead is great. This is going to help people starting the game when they're summoning for their Theomars. They get this guy. It makes giants easier to rune because speed destroys giants. If you're too slow in giants, it's sadness. If you go a little bit faster in giants, good things happen. I think it helps early to mid arena offenses, right? Because you need that speed lead. And if you don't have it, you can't compete. Like arena is literally a speed check for a long time. Maybe even the entire game is a speed check. And, pull a 33 lead. I didn't do it. Oh, well, I guess you can't compete in this one whole area of the game because you didn't pull this one monster in fire and one monster in water. Now at least you have a 24 lead. It's not as good, but it's something, right? So that's really nice. I think it'll be useful to people who just need to throw a speed lead in there. Imagine there's so many things in guild-based stuff where I run out of speed leads, and now I have a max skill 24% speed lead. I'll make it work, right? We can get this going. I mean, sometimes I just want to Dovolution something, and I'm out of speed leads, right? I mean, this is going to be really, really good in all areas of the game. So good job, Comp to us. Helps everybody. I like it. Okay, that is everything. Everything else is just little bits here and there. The main thing I think we learned from this patch is what we kind of already knew. I think the best part of this patch is they used a broad brush. They did not do that thing where it's like, we'll buff these 3 guys and then we'll wait 4 months. Like, they hit a lot of things that needed reworking. They hit a lot of different things, which is fantastic. That's what you want to see every single time. I guess the downside of this patch is that they're still okay with the win rates of certain LDs in RTA, which is a bit of a bummer for people who don't have those, because there's certain monsters that are in the 55 range in wins. I bet you know who they are, and they are staying there. Like, that's a stable 55%. Whereas the Beast Riders were at like 52% win rate, and they were not comfortable with an elemental unit at a 52% win rate in the manner that it was. So the Beast Riders win rate will go down. You know, the Artamiel, Pater, Jaeger, 55% win rates, they're still cool with that. So I don't know. It's not they're not looking to adjust everything to an equal playing field, which makes total sense for them, because who's gonna spend $1,000 to pull that one LD Nat 5 if it has the same win rate as a Beast Rider that they can pull for a discount? So that's the only little bit of a negative that is still going on, but you know, it gives everybody something to hope for. Maybe I'll pull that one broken thing that they're cool with being broken. So that's kind of where it's at there. Okay. If I completely botched something in this patch and said something was wrong, let me know. We'll get it fixed. If you agree, disagree, let me know. Comment below. And good luck to everybody with the buffed monsters, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.